You know, initially I was very confident about all of these predictions, and the more I have looked into what's going on, the more I've looked into the hype, the more I've looked into what has been winning, I have become less confident, and now I feel like with some of these categories, I just threw a dart at it. But I have made my choices as far as the predictions go and my personal picks, so let's get into all of this and let's see how right or wrong I am on Sunday. So let's start with all of the shorts. I have watched almost every short in these categories, which is kind of a record for me. I have missed one, I believe, in each category. So let us begin with documentary short subject. And here I am personally picking the Queen of Basketball, and I do believe that is the one that's going to win. Compared to the other short films nominated in this category, the Queen of Basketball really stands out with its presentation. It really stands out with how everything is put together, how the visuals are used, how the music is used, how the footage is used. I just think that this is a pretty safe choice here. I honestly can't imagine anything else coming in and stealing this one. The only thing I can see as an upset is Audible, but I am very, very confident in the Queen of Basketball. For animated short film, I am going with Robin Robin personally, and once again, that is my prediction as well. I know there have been some varying opinions on this one, but I feel like at the end, after watching all of the shorts back to back, you really walk away with a very strong memory of Robin Robin, and it kind of finds that balance of being cute, but also having a message and being memorable. I just think this one is another pretty easy one. Finally, live action short film. Here, I am pretty confident the winner is going to be The Long Goodbye. This is the one with Riz Ahmed. It ends on a very powerful, memorable monologue. I just think as you walk away from these shorts, this is the one you're going to remember the most. For me personally, the favorite was Please Hold. It was really cool. It reminded me of Black Mirror. I think if it was longer and it dug a little bit deeper, it could have been a full-blown Black Mirror episode, and I love Black Mirror, so that one was my favorite. However, I am predicting The Long Goodbye. Next up, let's talk about an easy one, which is going to be the international feature film. I think there is absolutely no way this goes anywhere else other than Drive My Car. This has been a huge favorite. For me personally, it's The Worst Person in the World. I would love to see that win, but it's not gonna happen. But yeah, The Worst Person in the World is an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I absolutely adore it, even though Drive My Car definitely grew on me on my second viewing. I really enjoyed it on my first viewing, but second viewing really spoke to me more than the first one. Best international feature film, Drive My Car. Moving on. Let's talk about the best animated feature film. You guys know I'm not huge on animation, but I did, for all of you, manage to watch 3 out of 5. This is a record. I normally don't. So for me, my favorite, as we all know, is Flea. This is also the category where I don't really know how people judge this, because if we're talking about the best animated feature film out of all of these, I think Flea is the best one. But if we're emphasizing the animated part, I think out of what I've seen, The Mitchells versus the Machines is the most interesting one, and I would have to pick that one as my favorite. However, we're all pretty confident it's going to be Encanto, which is a beautifully looking film. I'm not gonna lie, it did not do for me as much as I was hoping it would. I did enjoy it, but I wanted more from it. And I would love to see an upset win in this category, but I very much doubt that that is happening. So I'm going with a safe choice here. It's going to be Encanto. Finally, let's talk about the documentary feature. And here, once again, I personally prefer Flea. You guys know I adored Flea, and it's bumming me out that it is nominated for 3 categories this year, and it is kind of not looking good in any of these for Flea. I would love to see it win Best Documentary Feature, but Summer of Soul has been winning pretty much everything. So I feel like Flea would be a pretty unexpected win if that were to happen. I am once again going with a safe choice here, Summer of Soul, which I do think is a really good documentary. But if I were to rank these, this would be my number 3 pick because I love Flea, as I mentioned multiple times at this point. I also really enjoyed Ascension. I found Ascension really interesting and pretty unusual, but very effective with what it was going for. Really enjoyed it. But as I mentioned, going safely with Summer of Soul. All right, let's get into the 2 categories that I find the most confusing out of this entire list. There's a couple more that I find pretty confusing, but these 2, I don't know what's going on. That is original screenplay and adapted screenplay. Original screenplay. For me, personally, the choice is easily The Worst Person in the World. Love that movie, as we all know. However, what they're going to vote for, I am really not sure. For a while there, I thought it was going to be Licorice Pizza, and I'm still not really willing to completely discount that prediction. Don't Look Up won the WGA, and then everybody seems to think it's going to be Belfast because that is the only place Belfast has a real chance. Some people are saying King Richard. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I am having a hard time with the general consensus that Belfast is going to win original screenplay. I get the logic that this is its only chance essentially in this award ceremony and that everybody loves Kenneth Branagh and that it's a very personal story. And I'm somebody who really enjoyed Belfast, by the way. I don't think that this is strong enough to win. If we're giving it to Belfast, then why don't we just give it to The Worst Person in the World? Because it is actually an amazing screenplay. I don't think it's going to be King Richard. And even though Don't Look Up won the WGA, I don't think it's going to be Don't Look Up either. I mean, things could get wild. They could, but I don't think so. So I'm stuck between Belfast and Licorice Pizza. And I think I'm going to stick with Licorice Pizza. I'm just not seeing the love for Belfast that was there initially when it was the crowd favorite, the front runner of the Oscars early in the season. I get that this is a personal story for him and he's charming and all of that, but I don't know, like, who's gonna vote for Belfast over Licorice Pizza and The Worst Person in the World? I am going to predict Licorice Pizza. And I might very well be wrong, but that's what I'm going with. My personal pick, The Worst Person in the World. Now, for my adapted screenplay, I am going with the WGA pick here. I am going to predict Coda because Coda has been really surging. And even though I think this is actually the weakest screenplay out of the 5, personally, I feel like Coda is going to do some amazing things on Sunday, and I think it's actually going to win the adapted screenplay. For me, I am somewhere between Drive My Car and The Power of the Dog for favorite. I also obviously do really love the Dune screenplay, and I think it's amazing what this unadaptable novel has ended up being on screen. I think that deserves recognition, and I do really appreciate The Lost Daughter. So I don't have a very, very strong personal favorite. I just have a strong prediction, which is Coda. If I had to pick a personal favorite, I think I would go with The Power of the Dog. And I will say, I'm pretty confident that if The Power of the Dog pulls off an adapted screenplay win here, they are going to win Best Picture. And spoiler alert, I'm not predicting Power of the Dog winning Best Picture. I've said this from the very beginning. I don't think they're going to win Best Picture, but if somehow they do win Adapted Screenplay, then my opinion on that changes. Don't think that's going to happen. Coda's going to win Adapted Screenplay. And obviously, if something wild like Dune wins, I would be inclined to think that that is going to win Best Picture. I am kind of correlating those two. But moving on to visual effects. I am predicting Dune, and I am personally choosing Dune. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Dune, and I'm rooting for Dune in every category, even in the ones where I'm not predicting it to win. Just rooting for it to win despite everything. But this one, I think, is a very sure thing, and I am going to be very surprised if this goes to anything else other than Dune. Same goes to sound. I am predicting Dune, and I am personally choosing Dune. It's going to win a lot of technical awards, and this is another one of them. Now, production design. This is an interesting one. I think the easy choice to make here is Dune. However, I can see Nightmare Alley creeping up and taking the prize. Nightmare Alley is a fantastic looking film, and it absolutely deserves the production design award. And honestly, I would not be mad if that happened. I'm kind of splitting my vote here. I am choosing Dune because I gotta support Dune, but I am absolutely going to support the win of Nightmare Alley if that happens. As far as my prediction goes, I think I'm going with... Oh, actually, I'm not as confident about this as I thought. What if it's something like West Side Story all of a sudden? I feel like this is a very strong category to begin with. No, you know what? I'm predicting Dune because they essentially created a whole world out of nothing, and it looks amazing, and it looks like a place that exists. And yeah, so that is going to be my prediction and my pick, Dune. If I'm wrong, it's going to Nightmare Alley. I'm also not going to be upset. And if it's not going to either of those, then it's just chaos. Just chaos. Next, we have original song, which is easily my least favorite category. I honestly, this might be a hot take. I don't know why this category exists. I understand original score. The score is very important to the film. When is the song so important to the movie unless it's an animated film? Almost never. I said almost. It still happens. But generally, it's also that I am very much not a fan of songs that get nominated in these categories, like 99% of time. For this one, I think it's going to go to No Time to Die from No Time to Die. And that is also my pick. But once again, I don't adore any of these songs. And I don't know. I could do without this category. I get that this is a chance for them to invite celebrities to perform, and that's how they think they're going to draw attention to themselves. But honestly, every single person I know who watches the Academy Awards, which is not many people at this point, they use this as a bathroom break. When somebody's performing, people go about their business. Go take a break, go to the bathroom, get some snacks, make yourself another drink. Like, nobody sits there and watches these performances. Let me know in the comments if you actually do and if you look forward to these performances, because I'm really curious. Maybe I'm in the bubble and like people actually love this, but I've never heard anyone say, oh my gosh, cannot wait to see the performances for the original song. Does this happen? I don't know. Anyway, No Time to Die. Go Billie Eilish. Original score. Hello, I am here to talk to you about Dune again. Dune is going to win. Dune should win. And I am so excited that Hans Zimmer is finally getting another Oscar. I'm not excited that we're not going to see it live, but that's a whole other can of worms that I'm not going to get into. I don't like this decision to present some of these awards off air and then edit it somehow together into the final cut of the Academy Awards. But, you know, they've made the decision and that's what they're going with. I think it's a mistake. Hope people speak out about this as they're getting their awards. That's going to be some drama and hopefully we will see that. But yes, Hans Zimmer, he's got this one. Makeup and hairstyling. I am going to go with The Eyes of Tammy Faye for my personal pick and for what's going to win. I obviously would love to see Dune win. I think Dune is a little bit too subtle to win this category, and The Eyes of Tammy Faye has so many versions of makeup on the same person aging, and it's actually quite impressive what they do with Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. So I'm not going to spend too long on this category. I have heard some opinions about Cruella potentially stealing this one, maybe House of Gucci. I doubt it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think The Eyes of Tammy Faye is the perfect movie to win this category. I think it's the type of movie that this category likes to reward. Let's talk about film editing, which is actually another one of these categories where I am no longer sure what's going on. At first, I was pretty confident that this was going to be another Dune win, and I am still picking Dune as my personal favorite, obviously. However, I have no idea what's going to win Best Editing. I don't think it's going to be Don't Look Up. I don't think it's going to be King Richard, even though there is a large amount of people who think it might be King Richard. I don't think so. The Power of the Dog, it could happen. I am not super willing to believe that that film would win Best Editing. So I guess I'm between Dune and Tick Tick Boom, because Tick Tick Boom has a lot of showy editing, and I feel like that could be a factor here. See, the thing is, and I might be overanalyzing, there have been a lot of people complaining that Dune is long and it's half a movie, which it is true. It is long. I think it flows really well. I think it's beautiful. And the fact that it's part one doesn't change the fact that it's a great movie. But maybe some people voting would think that that's a bad thing. So in that case, I'm willing to lean towards Tick Tick Boom. I really don't know, guys. And I get that King Richard is a sports movie, so that could be a factor. Now I'm going to talk myself into King Richard. I have no clue. I have no clue about this category. You know what? I'm actually going to go against my personal favorite, and I'm going to predict Tick Tick Boom. Yes, that might be a crazy prediction, but I'm going with Tick Tick Boom. The other ones don't make sense to me, but I'm really, really hoping it's Dune, because that is my pick and I feel like they deserve it. I'm just hoping for a Dune sweep, obviously, but I feel like Tick Tick Boom is gonna happen. I feel like it's likely. Maybe not, but that's my feeling. Going with that. I told you the confidence level has just been diminishing day after day. I was so confident about film editing to begin with, predicting Dune, but now I am no longer confident and I'm switching to Tick Tick Boom. Can't believe I'm doing that. If Dune wins, I am, first of all, obviously going to be happy, and second, I'm going to be really annoyed that I switched to Tick Tick Boom. We'll see. This is what I'm predicting. Might be crazy. All right, we're back to easy categories. Costume design. This is going to Cruella, and there is no way it goes to anything else. This is literally a movie about fashion and about costumes. How could it not go to Cruella? I would love to see Nightmare Alley win this one, because once again, that movie looks gorgeous and those costumes are so beautiful and I adore them. Dune, obviously, always rooting for Dune, but let's be real, the costumes in Dune are not its strongest part. There are some amazing costumes in it, but when you have contenders like Cruella and Nightmare Alley, I just don't think they're going to give it to Dune. So, personal choice, Nightmare Alley. The winner is going to be Cruella. Cinematography. Let's go. This is a category that I am sticking to Dune with, because I just am. I think it's going to win, and I think it should win. However, I would like to say that this is a fantastic category this year. It is so strong. All of these films are beautiful in their own way, are masterful in their own way, and deserve recognition, each of them. However, it's gonna be Dune, and I hope it's Dune, and I'm picking Dune, and yes. Next up, all of the acting categories. Now, I feel like these are all pretty set, which is why I also feel like they're less set than we think they are. Let's start with supporting. Actress in the supporting role, I am very confident. Ariana DeBose from West Side Story. I think she's winning. I think she deserves to win. And that's the end of that. I am also very confident in the supporting actor, and that is going to be Troy Kotsur for Coda. And I think he absolutely deserves it. I know Cody Smith-McPhee has a lot of fans and he's a big favorite for a lot of people, but this is Troy Kotzer's award, and I am so happy for him. He is lovely. And if you've seen Coda, which I hope you have, please watch it if you haven't. It is a really nice, heartwarming film, and it's really good. Best actor, I don't know if anybody is willing to bet against Will Smith at this point. He is walking away with this award. I am not doubting this. I am positive that he is going to win the Oscar, and good for him. My personal pick is Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. And if that upset happened, which it's not going to, yeah, I would be so happy, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this is Will Smith's best performance, but also this is the position where he is in, where he is due for an Oscar. People have been wanting to give him an award. He is an amazing movie star, and he's going to get it this year. I would love to see Andrew Garfield win this, but it's not going to happen. Also, obviously, Benedict Cumberbatch was fantastic in The Power of the Dog, but no, that's not happening. Now, let's talk about Best Actress. See, this is a category where I was also very confident to begin with, but then I started thinking, when have all 4 acting categories gone exactly according to everybody's plan? I don't know. I haven't looked it up, to be honest, but I feel like there's always a surprise, at least in one acting category. And judging by the other 3, I think that surprise is going to happen in the leading actress category. Now, the easy choice here is Jessica Chastain. And she might have been my personal choice. She was my personal choice for the longest time. Now, I know people are also on the Kristen Stewart hype train, and I loved her in Spencer. I think she's also very deserving. Let me just make this clear. As long as it's not Nicole Kidman, who I also love, I just don't think she fits this category this year. But as long as it's not her, I'm going to be happy with whoever wins. However, Penelope Cruz got nominated. It surprised everybody. And I'm going to make a wild prediction here and say that she is going to win. She's also going to be my personal pick. As much as I adore Jessica Chastain, and I have been on that hype train this whole year, even though The Eyes of Tammy Faye is not the most amazing movie of the year, I think her performance is just a powerhouse, and she's fantastic. I can see Penelope Cruz winning this, and honestly, her performance is so amazing, and I'm going to pick her as my prediction. Listen, I know some of you think that some of my predictions are a little bit crazy, but I just can't sit here and predict the most safe choices everybody agrees on. First of all, that's never going to happen because that's not how awards work. And second, it's just boring. So I'm going to go with Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers as my pick and as my prediction. And if Jessica Chastain wins, good for her. I think she deserves it. All right, the 2 big awards of the night. Well, they are all big awards, but Best Director and Best Picture. Best Director is obviously going to Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. This is probably the easiest category to predict for Sunday, and I don't see any potential upset here. It's going to be The Power of the Dog. Who I would choose, it's Denis Villeneuve, who isn't nominated, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that again. I was already pretty upset about that when that happened, when that snub happened. So for my choice, I'm also going with Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. It's a fantastic movie. She directs the hell out of it, and she deserves this win. So we're not gonna spend a lot of time on this. Best Picture. Here we go. I'm just going to hit you with my prediction right away. It's going to be Coda. Coda has been gaining so much momentum. I can see that happening easily, especially if it wins adapted screenplay, which I think is going to win. Coda is a lovely, heartwarming crowd pleaser. And even earlier this year, when we didn't know that Coda was going to be surging, people kept talking about how a crowd pleaser should win Best Picture this year. People kept thinking it was going to be Belfast. It is not going to be Belfast. It is going to be Coda. I don't think there's going to be an upset here. I mean, it could happen. Something crazy could happen. The hell, we could have a Parasite scenario and have like Drive My Car win Adapted Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Picture. It's not going to happen. It's going to be Coda. I am obviously rooting for Dune, and there is the slightest hope in my mind that Dune could win and could be the big fun, well, depending on who you talk to me, fun blockbuster of the year to win Best Picture. It's probably not going to happen. I did think initially that because Denis Villeneuve got snubbed for Best Director, I thought maybe they will feel bad about that and they will overcompensate by making it Best Picture, kind of have it be the Argo scenario. Remember Argo when Ben Affleck, I don't think he was even nominated for Best Director, but then he won for Best Picture. So I don't think it's as impossible as other people do. I think Dune could potentially pull off an upset win, but I am willing to bet money on the fact that this is going to be Coda. And I do not think The Power of the Dog is going to win Best Picture. Yes, that does mean that I am predicting that the movie that got nominated for 12 awards? I think it's 12, 11 or 12. Pretty sure The Power of the Dog got nominated in 12 categories, that it's only going to win Best Director. That's my prediction. I'm sorry. I think they over-nominated this movie. So that I think it's just taking Best Director. However, if it does take Adapted Screenplay, as I mentioned, if suddenly we hear The Power of the Dog for Adapted Screenplay, then I am changing my mind and it's going to win Best Picture. Don't think that's going to happen. My prediction is Coda, final choice, with a personal pick of Dune. And that is going to do it for my Oscar predictions and personal picks. I would love to know what you're predicting and choosing as your favorites in the comments below. So please let me know, where do you think this Oscars surprises are going to come from? Because even with those confusing categories like editing, adapted, and original screenplay, and to some extent Best Picture, I think a lot of this is very straightforward. And when things look this straightforward, I think it's just setting us up for some really unexpected things. Thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you made it to the end of this video, you are extra amazing. I have a very special thank you to my patrons, with an extra special thank you to the patrons whose names are on the screen right now. But all of you, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.